Okay, students, the gift for the darkness. This is chapter 8 of Lord of the Flies, one of the most intense, baffling, interesting chapters in Lord of the Flies where there's a lot of things going on. So let's get right into my observations. Remember, this is not the be all end all. This is just what came out of the book to Mr. Weaver, and I can't even go into all of it. Well, let's start with the beginning. Good place to start. Jack calls the meeting. Jack's the one calling the meeting instead of Ralph. Now, that's not the first thing that happens, but it happens within the first 2 pages. This is really important. Jack decides that he is going to attempt to get power, but he's still doing it in a democratic way. He calls the meeting, and eventually he asks them if he can be the chief instead of Ralph. You'll notice that he looks around. No one or very few people raise their hands, and we have to infer that. And Jack gets extremely angry and he says, I'm not going to play anymore. And he runs away. Ralph calls out to him and says, Jack! And then Jack turns, he pauses, and then I can just imagine this. He says, no! And it says that he cried out, high-pitched, enraged. Jack has done everything he can to get power in a democratic way. It hasn't worked. So he's going to leave. And this is significant because he's abandoning the law, the order, the rules, the democracy. So therefore, he has to get power in a different way. And we're going to see that. Then you see that Simon very oddly says that they ought to climb the mountain. And when Ralph asks him why, he whispers, what else is there to do? Why does Simon want to climb the mountain? Why does he want to go up and see? It's not that he doesn't trust that it's up there, but he still wants to confront the truth. Whatever this beast is, Simon wants to confront it. And the other boys think he's crazy. They call him cracked. Okay? Piggy then, for the next few pages, he thinks of, hey, why don't we just have the fire on the beach? Everyone gets excited and they start making it. But as they make the fire, as they gather the wood, some of the boys sneak away. And just like in a society where the law and order breaks down, when people start to defect away from that law and order, from that system, they're not going to come right out and yell, hey, I'm going to break the system. They do it in a kind of a secretive way when no one's looking, and they join the ranks of some other system that is coming to fruition, which is the system of Jack. Simon sneaks off by himself on the bottom of page 132 to 133, and this is just really a plot technique so that we know where Simon is when the hunt's going on. The boys then kill the sow, this really large pig, and it dies right in the sanctum, which is like the private place of Simon. They don't even notice that he's there. When they kill him, it's quite a gruesome scene. There's a lot of detail. Some scholars have said that this is likened to an attack, a sexual attack of some kind, with the way that they prod and poke and do all of these horrible things. I know that's gross, but if you read the back of the book, it talks about that. And so it's interesting that this is going on in this moment when Jack is coming to power. He then gives an offering to the beast. He sharpens a stick at both ends. That's an important detail. He sticks it in the ground, puts the sow's head on top, and says, this is for the beast. The boys then turn around and go. And in any kind of religious ceremony, or many of them, there is some kind of propitiation given, some kind of offering given to the divine being in order to gain favor. And so here we have Jack actually doing kind of a religious thing as he's setting up his new society. Simon's then entranced by this Lord of Flies, and he looks at it. It's almost like he's starting to talk to it, and there's this throbbing going on in his head. The boys are then visited by Jack. Some of the boys just kind of steal fire, which is significant in this new society. You're welcome to steal from the other society because you're not part of that society anymore. So the morality has totally broken down. The moral decay and decadence is there. But he invites them, oddly, to this feast. And the boys, thinking of the meat and how good it tasted the first time, they definitely want to go. And you see that toward the end of the chapter. But then we get to the end of the chapter, one of the most significant moments in the book. I have to spend some time here. I have to linger here because Simon is literally talking to a head on a stick. And he says, I am the Lord of the Flies. Did you catch it? This conversation starts at the top of 143. And on 143, he doesn't say I'm Lord of the Flies. He says, I'm the beast. There isn't anyone to help you, only me, and I'm the beast. Very important. He then says, you knew, didn't you? I'm part of you. Close, close, close. I'm the reason why it's no go, why things are what they are. So this Lord of the Flies is now personified. It's anthropomorphized. It is becoming something that's tangible to Simon. But only Simon can see it. No one else can see it because Simon seeks the truth. And so Simon, he is talking to it, but it's him talking. So whatever this beast is inside of humanity. And Simon's the only one that gets it as he's talking to this Lord of the Flies, scared to death, by the way. It isn't fear itself that I deduce here that is this beast. It is something inside of humans that we are afraid of, that is hidden, that we can't put our fingers on. It's the thing that breaks things up, yet it's inside of us. And you'll remember that Simon kept saying, well, maybe it's just us. He says he has this vision of a man, heroic and sick, when he's thinking of this beast. And he wants to pursue and see what this thing is. He wants to confront whatever it is inside of humanity that breaks things up, that makes things go amiss. And so that's what we have at the end of the chapter. He then passes out as this intense thing that's inside of human beings is going after and mocking and scorning and talking in a schoolmaster's voice to Simon and belittling him and making him into nothing. Now, what's the purpose of the chapter? That's a good question. Well, there's three that I can see. There's more. This is the final break by Jack as he's starting this new power game. Second, the new rituals, the new rules, the laws that are being established by Jack. This is important. And finally, the beast is personified, and we get to see Simon talking to this beast, whatever it is. Now, Golding doesn't come out and say that it's that thing inside of human beings that we're afraid of, that we don't like, and yet is breaking things up, but we can imply that. So here's some questions to consider. But what is the beast? What is it really? Is Mr. Weaver right? Is the beast something else? What is this beast? Why is Jack giving an offering to it? Why is Simon confronting it? Why does Ralph seem to be puzzled by it and didn't believe it existed? Now he kind of does. He's seen this weird thing on the mountain. What's going on with the beast and with this society that's breaking up? So I hope that you enjoy as you continue to explore.